El Salvador's prison system has gained international attention due to President Nayib Bukele's aggressive crackdown on gangs. The most notorious facility is the Terrorism Confinement Center, Cecot, a massive high-security prison designed to house 40,000 inmates, making it one of the largest in the world. Key facts about El Salvador's prisons. Cecot Super Prison. Opened in 2023, it holds thousands of suspected gang members arrested under Bukele's controversial state of emergency. The facility has strict isolation measures, 24/7 surveillance, and limited contact with the outside world. Mass arrests. Since March 2022, over 75,000 people have been arrested under emergency powers, with many accused of gang affiliations. Human rights groups warn of wrongful detentions and inhumane conditions. Prison overcrowding. Before Cecot, El Salvador's prisons were among the most overcrowded in the world, operating at more than 300% capacity. Gang crackdown. The prison system is central to Bukele's war on gangs, targeting MS-13 and Barrio 18, which once controlled large parts of the country. While the crackdown has dramatically reduced crime, critics argue it has come at the cost of human rights violations, mass incarcerations, and concerns over due process. El Salvador's prison system. Detailed specifications. 1. Terrorism Confinement Center, Cecot, the Supermax Prison. Capacity: 40,000 inmates. Opened February 2023. Location: Tecoluca, San Vicente, El Salvador. Security features: high-tech surveillance cameras, motion sensors, 19 guard towers and electric fences, 600 soldiers and 250 police officers assigned to perimeter security. Prisoners confined in large cells with no beds or personal belongings. 2. Prison conditions. Overcrowding. Previously at over 300% capacity, significantly reduced with Cecot. Isolation. Inmates have zero contact with the outside world, no visits or phone calls. Living conditions. Large cells designed for hundreds of inmates. No sunlight exposure for most prisoners. Strict discipline, forced labor, and no recreational activities. 3. The mass incarceration policy. State of emergency declared, March 2022. Total arrests. Over 75,000 people detained, mostly alleged gang members. Due process concerns. Thousands detained without trials. Reports of wrongful arrests and torture. No access to legal representation for many detainees. 4. Bukele's anti-gang strategy. Targeted gangs. MS-13 Mara Salvatrucha. Barrio 18 18th Street Gang. Military-backed policing. Soldiers deployed in gang-controlled areas. Neighborhood lockdowns. Crime reduction. Homicide rate dropped by over 70% since 2021. El Salvador now has one of the lowest murder rates in Latin America. 5. Human rights concerns. Torture allegations. Reports of extreme punishments inside prisons. Deaths in custody. Hundreds of detainees reported dead under unclear circumstances. International criticism. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch call it a prison state. UN warns of human rights abuses and a lack of judicial oversight. Conclusion. El Salvador's prison system is at the center of President Bukele's zero-tolerance gang policy. While the crackdown has drastically reduced violence, it has also raised serious ethical and legal concerns. The government defends it as necessary for national security, while critics argue it undermines democracy and human rights. Would you like details on a specific part, such as prison operations, gang influence, Terrorism Confinement Center operates under strict control to prevent gang activities inside and outside the facility. The system follows a militarized structure, ensuring total dominance over inmates. 1. Security and surveillance. High-tech monitoring. 24/7 video surveillance with motion sensors. Facial recognition cameras at entry points. Inmates are tracked at all times. Prison guards and military presence. 600 soldiers and 250 police officers secure the outer perimeter. Inside, guards are heavily armed and follow strict control procedures. No escape risk. 19 watchtowers and electric fences prevent breakouts. Prison is in a remote area with no easy escape routes. 2. Daily life of prisoners. No external contact, no phone calls, no family visits, and no legal aid access. Inmates are completely cut off from the outside world. Basic living conditions. Large cells, holding hundreds of prisoners each. No beds, prisoners sleep on concrete floors. Minimal food rations and poor hygiene conditions. Punishment system. Any resistance is met with isolation or physical discipline. Guards enforce total silence and submission. 3. Gang segregation and control measures. No gang communication allowed. Rival gangs MS-13, Barrio 18 are separated. Leaders are isolated to prevent orders from being sent outside. Prison labor. Some prisoners are forced into manual labor. The government claims this helps with prison self-sustainability. 4. Judicial and administrative control. Arrests without trials. Thousands of inmates were arrested under Bukele's state of emergency, often with no evidence. Many remain imprisoned indefinitely without a court hearing. Mass trials. New laws allow for group trials, meaning thousands can be sentenced at once. Judges work under heavy government pressure to convict inmates. 5. Effectiveness and criticism. Successes. Checkmark gang activity has dropped significantly in El Salvador. Checkmark homicide rates at record lows since prison crackdown. Checkmark government claims strong national security improvements. Criticisms. Crossmark human rights violations, reports of torture, abuse, and wrongful detentions. Crossmark deaths in custody, over 200 reported deaths inside prisons. Crossmark lack of due process, many prisoners were arrested without investigations. Conclusion. El Salvador's prison operations focus on absolute control, gang suppression, and deterrence. While the system has reduced crime, it operates with severe restrictions on human rights, raising concerns about long-term legal and ethical consequences. Would you like insights into prisoner testimonies, escape attempts, or international reactions? Gang influence in El Salvador's prisons. Before President Nayib Bukele's crackdown, El Salvador's prisons were controlled by gangs, particularly MS-13, Mara Salvatrucha, and Barrio 18. These groups used the prison system as their command centers, running criminal operations from inside. 1. How gangs controlled the prisons before Bukele's crackdown. A. Internal hierarchy and governance. Gangs ruled prison blocks, setting their own rules and punishing disobedience. Leaders, known as palabreros, spokespersons, issued orders both inside and outside prison. Guards often had little control, as gangs managed food, security, and discipline. B. Corruption and external communication. Prison staff were often bribed to smuggle in. Cell phones used to coordinate crimes outside. Weapons and drugs. Money and food. Some government officials allegedly negotiated with gang leaders to lower homicide rates in exchange for better prison conditions. C. Extortion and street control from behind bars. Gang leaders ordered assassinations, extortion, and kidnappings from prison. Businesses and civilians paid rentas, extortion fees to avoid violence. If gang members on the streets disobeyed, they were punished or killed based on orders from imprisoned leaders. 2. Changes after the crackdown. Bukele's reforms. A. Mass incarceration and isolation. Over 75,000 gang members arrested, including high-ranking leaders. Gangs were segregated to prevent communication. Prisoners lost access to phones and visits, cutting off gang influence outside. B. Extreme security in Cecot. No gang privileges, inmates are stripped of all belongings and confined to large, overcrowded cells. No external contact, gang leaders are unable to issue orders to street members. Total surveillance, constant monitoring prevents gang coordination. C. Decline in gang power. With leaders in total isolation, street gangs lost organization. Extortion and homicides dropped drastically. Many gang members fled the country or went into hiding to avoid capture. 3. Remaining challenges and risks. A. Potential underground networks. Some corrupt officials might still smuggle messages. There are concerns that gangs could reorganize if security weakens. B. Human rights and mass detentions. Some innocent people were wrongfully arrested in the crackdown. Critics argue the government may be using excessive force to suppress gangs. C. Long-term consequences. If Bukele's government loses power, imprisoned gangs might retaliate. Some worry that younger gang members outside prison could rebuild their networks. Conclusion. Bukele's crackdown has significantly reduced gang influence in prisons, but long-term stability remains uncertain. The question is whether El Salvador can maintain control or if gangs will find new ways to operate in the future. Would you like details on specific gang leaders, international reactions, or prison